Security Guard Basic Training. Course Overview. Security License Training and Testing Requirements. Before you apply for a security license, you must complete 40 hours security training course to receive a training completion number (TCN). You must book a security licensing exam from www.ontariosecuritytesting.com with your training completion number and pay $75. That includes taxes. After successfully completing your exam, you must apply for your security license. https://www.1key.gov.on.ca at a cost of $80 tax included. How to apply for a security guard license. You can apply for a license by mail or online through Service Ontario by visiting http://www.ontario.ca/law and safety/get security guard or private investigator license. You will be able to check the status of your application online within 2 business days. Applicants will be able to access a printable digital license as soon as their application is approved. The printed digital license can be used as proof of licensing until you receive your plastic license card by mail. Notice: Service Ontario does not accept applications for security guard or private investigator licenses at its service counters. Processing time. A correctly completed online application can take as little as 10-15 days to process and received by email. License expiry. Your new license will expire 2 birthdays after the day it is issued, 2 years, and will only cost $80. Once you received your license, make sure you keep it handy at your workplace. Table of Contents. 1. Introduction to Security Industry. 2. Private Security and Investigative Services Act and Code of Conduct Regulation. 3. Basic Security Procedures. 4. Report Writing. 5. Health and Safety. 6. Emergency Response Preparation. 7. Canadian Legal System. 8. Legal Authorities. 9. Effective Communications. 10. Sensitivity Training. 11. Use of Force Theory. 12. Emergency Level First Aid. Number 3.jpg. Public Sector Careers. Policing in Canada. Police Services in the Greater Toronto Area. Private Security Career. Event Security. Loss Prevention. Other types of security. Challenges of a security guard. Syllabus Number 1, Introduction to Security Industry. Syllabus Number 2, Private Security and Investigative Services. Act and Code of Conduct Regulation. Private Security and Investigative Services Act. How to obtain a security license. Ministry Code of Conduct. Complaint Procedure. Failure to comply. Regulated Equipment. Uniform Regulations. Other Regulations, Animals. Ministry Contact Information. Conducting Patrols. Skateboarders. Homeless Persons. Surveillance. Access Control. Crowd Control. Traffic Control. Alcohol and Drugs. Syllabus Number 3, Basic Security Procedures. Syllabus Number 4, Report Writing. Introduction to Report Writing. General Guidelines. Commencing Duty and Off Duty Writing. Important Factors. Report Writing Format. Types of Evidence. Syllabus Number 5, Health and Safety. Occupational Health and Safety Act. Worker rights. Worker responsibilities. Employer responsibilities. Workplace injuries. White miss. Recognizing hazards. Fire prevention. Syllabus number 6, Emergency response preparation. Emergency risk factors. Fire emergencies. Bomb emergencies. Weapon emergencies. Suspicious packages. Explosive devices. Emergency response procedures. Role of security guards. Crime scene management. Syllabus number 7, Canadian legal system. Canadian criminal court system. Hierarchy of court system. Court procedures. Ontario Evidence Act. Collection of evidence. Tort law and civil liability. Municipal by laws. Syllabus number 8, Legal authorities. Protecting personal information. Criminal Code of Canada. Section 494. Trespass to Property Act. Powers of arrest. Common criminal offences. Liquor License Act. Employment Standards Act. Syllabus number 9, Effective communications. Oral communication skills. Written communication skills. Writing accurate reports. Using appropriate language. Avoiding personal bias. Tactical communication. Interpersonal skills. Syllabus number 10, Sensitivity training. Diversity in Canada. Interacting with youth. Dealing with disabilities. Harassment and discrimination. Human rights legislation. Syllabus number 11, Use of force theory. Use of force legalities. Use of force framework. Responding to stressful situations. Maintaining composure. Positional asphyxia. Excited delirium. Guard safety. Syllabus number 12, Emergency level first aid. First aid overview. Legalities. Emergency scene. Management. Shock. Unconsciousness. Fainting. Choking. Severe bleeding. CPR. AED. Security Guard Training Course. Syllabus. Number 1, Introduction to the Security Industry. 1. Regulation under CISA 2005. 2. Public sector careers. 3. Policing in Canada. 4. Police services in the Greater Toronto Area. 5. Private investigator. 6. Private security career. 7. Event security. 8. Loss prevention. 9. Types of security. 10. Challenges of a security guard. Contents. Regulation under CISA 2005. Eligibility to be a license holder or Regulation 37/08. Insurance. O.Regulation 462/07. Record keeping requirement. O.Regulation 434/07. Registration of firm. O.Regulation 368/07. Time period of license. O.Regulation 367/07. Required equipment O Regulation 366/07. Animal use O Regulation 365/07. Use of vehicles. O.Regulation 364/07. Regulation under CISA 2005. Code of Conduct. O.Regulation 363/07. Uniform. O.Regulation 362/07. Information sent to the registrar. O.Regulation 361/07. Eligibility to be a license holder O Regulation 37/08. This regulation came into force in August 2007. The candidate can only be eligible for the license if he is not convicted to any criminal activities or pardon is not granted for such activities. Criminal activities considered as abduction, torture, sexual assault, kidnapping, sexual assault, etc. There are 83 sections are included under this regulation. Insurance. O.Regulation 462/07. This regulation came into force in August 2008. Every business entity must have general liability insurance of $2 million. Record keeping requirement. O.Regulation 434/07. This regulation came into force in August 2007. Security entity must keep track on employed security guards and private investigator within 2 years. It is important to get signed their employment contract and the record where they worked, what time period they employed with the entity. All reports, memo books, photographs, videos, electronic incident reports, certification, batons, handcuff use report must be reserved for at least 2 years. Registration of firm. O.Regulation 368/07. This regulation came into force in July 2007. Every firm should be registered and shall be provided number of security guards and private investigator to the registrar. Business license should be renewed every 2 years along with the record of number of employees. Time period of license. O.Regulation 367/07. This regulation came into force in July 2007. The trainee can hold security license or private investigator license or dual license as per the training and testing. The license is valid for 2 birthdays. The trainee can renew his/her license through the portal without appearing in exam. Required equipment. O.Regulation 366/07. This regulation came into force in July 2007. Security guard or private investigator may carry baton if they are authorized to use under Firearm Act Section 20. Security guard or private investigator may carry a baton if they are given by the licensed entity. Baton must use for the defense only. Business entity must carry an insurance for the batons if their employees are given the batons. Required equipment. O.Regulation 366/07. Security guard or private investigator may carry a handcuffs if they are given by the licensed entity. Business entity must carry an insurance for the batons if their employees are given the handcuff. An individual can not use the cable or strip, wire. 4. They. Restraining. Purpose. Animal Use Regulation 365/07. This regulation came into force in July 2007. An animal can not be used for controlling the crowd or restrain people. An animal can not be used as a guard or patrolling the premises unless it is being accompanied by the officer. The license may authorized to use a dog to track or check on people. A licensee must have worn fluorescent collar and identity card that indicates his/her proof of license. Animal Use Regulation 365/07. A dog must be trained for the detection or tracking and not to kill or being an aggressive on people. Business firm must have a policy and procedure of handling and care of dog that includes feeding, housing, care, transportation, etc. Use of vehicles. Regulation 364/07. This regulation came into force in July 2007. Vehicle can not be used for the security purpose unless it's maintained as per the compliances. A word security or SECU right in upper case and must be displayed properly on the vehicle unless the word is in logo. It must not have blue, gold, yellow, or red stripes unless its logo. Vehicle must not have any other words such as detective, private, detective, police, officer, or agent, J, police, law enforcement. Code of Conduct. Regulation 363/07. This regulation came into force in July 2007. Security guard or private investigator breaches the code of conduct if he/she doesn't comply with the compliance, security guard, or private investigator must act as honest and integrative. They should respect the equipment and property. They should comply with the federal, provincial, and municipal laws. They should not discriminate people as per their ethnicity, religion, color, and genders. Code of Conduct O.Regulation 363/07 Security guard or private investigator should have refrained themselves with unnecessary force behavior that is restricted by law, unusual language, insult, security guard, or private investigator should maintain the privacy and confidentiality of the information. Security guard or private investigator should be cooperative with the police. Security guard or private investigator should not be unfit for the duty or should not have consumed alcohol or drugs. Code of Conduct O.Regulation 363/07 Security guard or private investigator should not provide the false or wrong statement against another. Licenses. Security guard or private investigator should not misrepresent type, class, or condition of the other licensee. Uniform O.Regulation 362/07 This regulation came into force in July 2007. Security guard or private investigator should wear the proper uniform on site as per the regulation. It must have name, logo, or the crest of the licensee affixed to the chest of the outermost part of the uniform. The word security, secu right, security, guard, or agent, te, secu right, must, be, affixed, to, they, chest, between, 2, 3, cm, below, they, companies, logo, an, identity, card, with, they, security, guards, name, must, be, affixed, to, they, chest, of, they, outermost, part, of, they, uniform, uniform, O. Regulation 362/07, if, they, uniform, has, a, collar, it, must, not, have, navy, blue, or, black, they, trouser, should, not, have, a, strips, unless, it, safety, strips, down, they, side, they, uniform, should, not, have, a, police, style, cap, police officer, special constable, court officer, corrections officer, Canadian Border Services Agency, parking enforcement officer, by, law enforcement officer, Canadian Forces, Army, Navy, Air Force, title photo.jpg, public sector careers, policing in Canada, federal, Royal Canadian Mounted Police, provincial, Ontario Provincial Police, Quebec Provincial Police, municipal, Toronto Police Service, Peel Regional Police, Niagara Regional Police, York Regional Police, Toronto_Police_Service_logo2.png, gtmap.gif, GTA Police Map, conducting investigations in order to provide information, conducting investigations into the character or actions of a person, conducting investigations into an individual's business or occupation, conducting investigations into the whereabouts of persons or property, private investigator. You may need a private investigator's license if you are mainly employed and paid for the following activities: in house, security, average, hourly, wage, $16.05, $22, security, staff, work, directly, for, the, employer, which, operates, the, building, and, work, only, on, that, specific, site, most, hotels, and, some, larger, building, complexes, use, in, house, security, departments, contract, security, average, hourly, wage, $15, $19, security, staff, work, for, a, contract, company, which, engages, in, the, business, of, selling, security, services, to, multiple, clients, guards, often, work, at, multiple, sites, for, they, same, company, almost, all, events, and, buildings, utilize, they, services, of, a, contract, security, company. C:\documents and settings /Rosa G /local settings /temporary internet files /content.ie 5 K7SB 678D MC90003107331.wmf. Both in-house and contract security guards must possess a valid license. Private security careers. Autograph signings. Banquet halls, private parties, meetings. Bars and nightclubs. Concerts, Air Canada Centre, Molson. Amphitheatre. Festivals. School dances and proms. Sports events. Weddings and wedding receptions. Air_Canada_Centre.jpg. Event security. http://www.safaregypt.com/Egypt_Carlton_Ritz_Carlton_Sharm_L_Luxurious_Bar_Luxurious_Banquet_Hold.jpg. Usually work in retail environments and department stores. Detect and apprehend shoplifters. Conduct investigations on internal employee theft. Usually work undercover in plain clothes. Still required to be licensed in Ontario. Considered security guards, not private investigator. Generally make more arrests than any other type of security. Loss prevention. http://www.algonquinpark.on.ca/images/logo_lcbo.gif. College/university security. Condominium security. Hotel security. Mall security. Mobile security. Event security. Park security. Commercial_building_security.jpg. Types of security. Physically exerting, stairwell checks, standing for long periods of time. Rotational shifts, day, evening, and midnight shifts. Working on holidays, Boxing Day, New Year's. Transportation and parking. Carrying equipment and duty belt. Dealing with sudden emergencies, crowd control, medical emergency. Primary first aid responder. Potential for danger, assaults, chemicals, fire. Cost, training, test, licensing, equipment. Dealing with intoxicated people, concerts, special events. Weddings. Always on duty, despite being on breaks or lunch. Challenges of a security guard. http://FARM1.static.flickr.com/194/46384281653996bf3.jpg. http://www.rocklubin.no/images/articles/1277/1first-aid.gif. Areas of employment. As a security guard, there are at least 6 areas of employment open to you. 1. Security patrol. Security patrol are uniformed security services. You will be working for a private company or public property interests. Usually this means walking patrols in or around the property. Most often this means shopping centers, office buildings, malls or corporate facilities. 2. Mobile patrol services. To act as mobile patrol services you normally must have a full Class G driver's license with a clean driving record. You may need to be of a certain age to meet insurance company guidelines. You will probably be driving a marked security patrol vehicle. You will normally be working alone and often with mobile supervisors, so you must be fairly self-reliant. Your job will be to patrol multiple buildings within a specific area and to respond, as needed, to alarms for a client's facilities. Areas of employment. 3. Concierge/station. See guard. As a concierge, you usually work in residences, condominiums, or apartment. You will have a high level of customer service interaction with tenants and guests. Your job is to respond to emergencies such as fire alarms and elevator stoppages. Normally, the role is conducted in uniform or a suit. You must remain standing or sitting for extended periods. A concierge must be familiar with the Residential Tenancy Act. The job may require a candidate to qualify for the Parking Enforcement (MLEO) course. 4. Loss prevention. If you work in loss prevention, you will generally be working for a retail corporation, employed by a shop or group of shops. Your job will be to assist in shrink reduction of product and to apprehend shop lifters. You will possibly work in plain clothes and possibly be involved in internal employee investigations. In some cases you may act as a secret shopper to gain information undercover. Areas of employment. 5. By Law Enforcement Officer, MLEO. By Law enforcement officers must pass a municipal parking enforcement officer program. Their role is supplemental to other security guard duties. Remember, they can only conduct parking enforcement duties on private property. 6. Private investigators. Private investigators must complete an additional 80 hours of training to become certified. The training requirements for a private investigator include earning a separate license, possibly working in plain clothes, without a uniform, gaining a detailed understanding of the Evidence Acts. Private investigators. If you are interested in becoming a private investigator, there are specific attributes that you should consider before embarking on further qualifications as a private investigator. Decide if you are very detail-oriented and highly organized. Demonstrate excellent attention to detail. Have finely honed writing and documentation skills. Have special knowledge of recording devices. Private investigators. You must have detailed knowledge of the following legislation: the Canadian Evidence Act, the Ontario Evidence Act, the Personal Information Protection and Electronic Documents Act, Criminal. General job description. Whatever role you find yourself in, the primary responsibility of a security guard is to observe, deter, and report on all security related issues in regards to a client's property. You will conduct order and maintenance patrols of the site. You will conduct a visual inspection of the property for damage and or miscreant activity. You will conduct interventions up to and including arrests, removals, or issue barring notices as warranted. And finally, you must act in a manner as to reflect a positive image on behalf of the client and the company. Building patrol. Procedures for patrolling. 1 of the most important duties of a security guard is patrolling of the client's property. Your duties will include prevention of crime, trespassing, fire, vandalism, damage to property, and ensuring general safety of the people on the property. The requirements will vary depending on the needs of the clients. You begin your shift with a thorough patrol on the first round, since you will take charge from then on. You are required to record any unusual activity and prevent any prohibited activity. At the first instance itself, do a thorough check of all empty stairwells, parking lots, and all entrances to make sure they are secured well. If underground parking lots are to be inspected as well, make sure they are locked when you exit, and check for any suspicious activity, people, or goods like parcels, bags, etc. Procedures for patrolling. Do not permit drinking or using any prohibited substance, like marijuana, etc., in stairwells, lobbies, parking lots, and make sure no one is loitering in these places. If you find young children or pets left unattended on the property, please report the incident to the required authorities/management and ensure they are escorted to safety. Do not attempt to enter anyone house without the consent of the occupants of the house, and even then only if needed. Do not interfere in any domestic disputes, but report all such incidents to the necessary authorities/management. If you see any crime happening, please take preventive measures while ensuring your safety and the safety of the people on the property. Every client has a different need for patrolling, but on an average, makes sure you patrol every half hour to ensure everything is okay. Remember to be aware of any dangers at all times and be very alert to strange and unusual noise, smell, or anything not in place. For example, broken doors, etc. Report and take necessary steps to prevent crime and protect the safety of the people and property at all times. Please be vigilant of your surroundings at all times. Never patrol in the same routine. Vary your patrol routine and do not indulge in idle talk while patrolling. Make your patrol quick and different pace depending on the type property. If patrolling factory, sites, or warehouses. Be aware of the routine of the workers and the activity of the clients. Procedures for patrolling. Ask questions when in doubt. Do not hesitate to stop anybody who you think is not authorized to be on the property. Remember the guidelines for property access. Do not divulge your routine or any of your procedures to anyone else. Check for vehicles which maybe be parked without authorization. If need be, check license plates. Always record the license plate and vehicle make before approaching any vehicle. Do not run after a fleeing vehicle. Do not attempt to follow any one who might seem armed or dangerous. Remember, your job is crime prevention. But if a crime has already occurred, then it is the job of the police. You only need to report and follow procedures at all times. If you need to use vehicle on patrolling duties, make sure you use the vehicle provided by the company and not your personal vehicle, even for a short while, and follow traffic rules and regulations at all times. There cannot be any exceptions at all. End of syllabus number 1. Introduction to Security.